Hello guys, in my previous sessions I have discussed about how to set up Ansible lab in AWS and then a couple of Ansible ad hoc commands, how to run Ansible ad hoc commands or Ansible commands from our controller node and manage our clients. So I'm just continuing with a similar configuration, one Ansible controller node and two Ansible managed nodes. So in this session, I'm just going to discuss on a couple of Ansible playbooks, how we can write some Ansible playbooks and execute them using this Ansible playbook commands. So first, let us start with writing some Ansible playbooks here. Like I will be like setting up some HTTPD on any one of the server. So the format of Ansible playbooks will be like .yaml or .yml, which is Ansible playbook files extension will be coming that we will be calling as YML coding or YAML coding. So just let me start with the initial start. So always when you start Ansible playbook writing, make sure that you are starting with the three lines and ending with three dotted lines, which make sure that this will be the start of your playbook file and this will be the end of your Ansible playbook file. So in once we have this setup and the first thing what we call is we have to start with the play as it suggests playbook. The first thing which we start is the play. The play name we will be giving something like configuring our HTTPD or a HTTP or web server or something like you can give whatever the name you wanted to do. So I'm just giving as configuring web server or configure web server. So this is the play name which actually this playbook is going to do. And then we have in the play there are couple of things which is required host on which host you want to execute this playbook. If you give all, whichever the host is available in our configuration file, I mean inventory file, host inventory file, all those hosts will be executed this playbook. So for now, I'm just trying to run on one of the, or let me run on all. So basically, I'm just trying to execute one basic package on all the um, all nodes. So there's something like which you have to use become in an Ansible ad hoc command, use -b option. This is one. If you use a true, the privilege escalation will be added to this, and you can install the packages, or you can start working on the services or whatever the configuration you are trying to execute with this Ansible playbook. It will run as a privilege. It will run with a privilege escalation. And here comes the tasks. And there is one more thing in Ansible before going to tasks. There is one more thing which we have gather facts. So if you feel like if you want to get something like Ansible host facts, that means the client system information, hardware information, or the configuration information that can be gathered with this gather facts as true. By default, it will be true in this condition, but I'm using as false over here because for this playbook, I doesn't require to gather the facts. So if you are sure that it doesn't require to gather the facts, you can just put false, or by default it will be true. If you want to put gather facts as true in standard, if you want to make it as a your practice, best practice, or your practice to use this gather facts, you can just put that. So for now I'm using gather facts as no. So this is where our actual tasks start running. So this is where you have to make sure you are using the indentation properly. If you put like this, that is going to the play again. So wherever our task is ended, so it should be started here, then it comes under the tasks. So that's the indentation in YML coding, which we have to be very careful, otherwise the we may get some errors. So it should start either from here or after T, this indentation we have to do. Before that, it should not come. So here what it's going to do, like install HTTPD package, which we are trying to do. And one more thing, like once this indentation started here with this hyphen, that means it's going to start a new task, and whatever under this task comes, it should start after this space. So now we have given the name, and Ansible dot built in dot m. So this is the module which we are going to use it, and in this module what we are going to do is we are going to install this package name httpd, and then we have state. So this here also you have to make sure that indentation, because these two are part of this module, so we have to make sure those it's available, written properly, and state installed. So you can just give tags. So that means while running any Ansible playbooks, you can use tags to just to run that only with the tag, whichever the tasks are available. So something like that to differentiate, we can give this. And I'm going to use another task. So this is installing the HTTPD package. And other task is I'm going to just start HTTPD service. So once after installing the package, we are starting the service. For this, you have to use the module Ansible dot built-in dot service, or system D, something like that we'll be using. And so this is where we will be giving the name as HTTPD, and state started. So this is how we'll use the service model, but I think we are using the latest version of OS, which will be like CentOS 7 or CentOS 8 or Red Hat 8, something like that. Instead of service, we will be having system D we can use, which is system D services, and we just provided the state over here, and you can just use the tag for this, as well as the tag for this, what we can use, something like start httpd. So that is just name of that tags, where you can segregate the tasks while running the Ansible playbook, only specific tasks to run. And then next we have it something like, this is how we install the package now, and we started the service now. And the next one is like, we have something like configure firewall D. I mean, configure firewall services to allow HTTP port. So something like that. This is and make sure each and every task indentation, it should come at same line, so it should not miss, because it will be thinking it's part of another task. So that's where we have to be very careful while writing Ansible playbook coding, IML coding. So let me use like firewall D service. So built-in dot firewall D. So this is the module we are using, and here which port we are going to allow, that port 80/TCP. And like the next one, something like the service name, if you wanted to provide the service name HTTP and source. So see, when I use enter, it went to inside, there is some space issue, so we should make sure that we are clearing this indentation issues while writing the playbooks. So source must be like whichever the host you wanted to provide, that's all host you have to give. So what is our instance IPs, or the sources? So this is 172.31, and then this also 172.31, which is the other one. This also coming 172.31, 45, 41. So it's something like 172.31. So we'll just give the source as 172 dot 31. What is it? Is it 31? Yeah, 71. So 172.31 dot 0 dot 0 slash what is that? So let me use it something like 24. And so this how we will give the source CDR, and then zone, which should be public zone, and it should be state enabled, and then it should be permanent configuration. Normally, this all this we used to run it with firewall commands, firewall CMD command, where you used to enable these services rules, all those things, and it should be immediate. Yes, it should take immediate effect, and then these are the major options we use it, and then I'm just giving the tags as enable firewall rules. So this one I just wanted to run on only one host. So just let me take it only one host. Okay, I'm on one. So I wanted to configure the HTTPD only on my first managed node, and then I wanted to configure nginx on the second node to just to differentiate this changes for you, and then uh, I will install one small package on both the nodes using this all clients. So for now, let us continue only with this. So now let me just check it out, this configuration file. So this is how we have written this code, and then whenever you are just trying to execute this code, or whether this syntax is proper or not, all those things you can just check it out with Ansible Playbook command. So if you are not familiar with the Ansible Playbook commands, you can just use Ansible Playbook hyphen hyphen help. It gives a lot of options which is available with Ansible Playbook. So majorly when you return some playbook, and if you wanted to just check it out, that syntax and whether that is properly written, or if you have any issues on what it is going to do, you can use hyphen cap c. There is one more fully, you can use hyphen hyphen check option, and give your playbooks. So this is not going to make any changes in your this one. So it says no host match. So let me take Ansible. So, okay, instead of this, let us run that our Ansible command, which shows our all hosts, which is we have run in list host all in ad hoc commands, which we have run. And will okay, there is one hyphen missing and double L I gave. So that's my mistake. Sorry for that. And you can just check it out. So this is the host name, and let me see which what is the host name I gave it here. Yeah, that's every time I am doing a mistake here. So KTFM1. So this is the host name, and let me rerun that check command. Sorry. Yeah, it's something like a dry run. It's not going to do any changes. So if you see here, it's installing the package, and then it's starting the HTTP service, because we haven't run this properly. We just run check command. It failed because the HTTP package is not installed. It's failed. That's fine. So this is how we can check the playbook. So our syntax is fine now, and we can run this. And if you just check the final play recap. It says this is the host, and OK one, which is this, and changed one, and then unreachable zero, failed one. So unreachable is zero, failed this task, and is something like that. And as I mentioned in our playbook, so let me take that playbook. So if you see here, it says the play configure web server, which we have given, and it's a task install HTTPD, which is this one, and start HTTPD service. This is the one. And as it is failed here, it doesn't run the next task. We have something like ignore errors. When you give ignore error for this, it will run the next service. So I don't wanted to use that right now. So I haven't kept that in this task. If you give something like ignore errors s, so it will skip that error task. I mean, if it fails, it doesn't start that doesn't stop that playbook execution, and it will start executing the third task as well, even though it's failed the previous task. So that is one option which is available for us right now. There is only check mode or dry mode I have run. I can just check it out that what is the configuration it's going to make changes, and is there any syntax issues. So that's how we can just check it out our Ansible playbook. And just to give you some something like we use tags over there, right? So just let me use this Ansible playbook, which is this playbook httpd.yml, and hyphen start at hyphen task. So if I use this, the tags whichever we have used here. So as we don't have this package installed, so it should fail. Let me see that if I try to run it over there. I just wanted to show that. So if you see here, it's going to that playbook, and it's only trying to run this start HTTPD service. Uh, so I mean, we can run something like this in our playbooks using only those tasks. And now I wanted to, sorry, I think it's a task starter task. The previous one was not, this command is wrong. So if you want to execute only specific task with tags which we used, so you can use like this. So you see here, it's going to configure web server, and it's trying to start HTTPD service. So it goes with the tags which we provided, and the tag which we provided start HTTPD. So this is starting over there. And the previous one which I have run hyphen start task at. So if you want to start the task at, so start HTTPD service. This is the one which we have to use for this. Let me try that. So see, the both are going that you either you can start a task, or you can give some tags and use the tag to start the service. So something like this we can use. We in some cases we doesn't require to execute the full playbook. You can just run a specific task from that playbook like this. We can do that. And the next thing which I wanted to show you something like Ansible playbook, and yep, this is about this, and I just wanted to show you a couple of options which will be useful for you when you try to run Ansible playbook commands. And when you use hyphen help, you have a lot of options over here. And if you see here something like hyphen I inventory, which can be like a dynamic inventory, instead of using your slash etc Ansible host, if you want to run your own inventory file, something from your home directory, you can use hyphen I and then your playbook path. And if you want to use a specific user to use the connectivity, you can use a hyphen u option for remote user. And then we have something like hyphen u for remote user, hyphen c for connection, hyphen t, caps t for timeout. And then we have something like hyphen t for tags, which we already checked. And you have hyphen c for checking before running, hyphen d for difference, to find the difference if any configuration files it's going to change, something like that. And if you want to use some extra variables other than which is available in Ansible playbook, you want to give your personal custom variables over here, you can use hyphen e option to provide those variables. And if you want to use the password over here, if you haven't set up the passwordless SSH configuration, you can use a hyphen small k for connection password. And then if you want to use a become password, hyphen caps k you can use, which uses the become password over there, which is having super user privileges, pseudo privileges on the host or something like that. So these are the lot of options available for you to check and run the Ansible playbook with Ansible playbook command. So for now, just let me run this playbook. Let us start with actual work. And I wanted to use the default and just run this. So it's installing HTTPD over there. So you can see it's a chain. Now you can see it's a started. So firewall D, it says like chain false message parameters are mutually exclusive. ICMP. So this is something like I'm using on Amazon Linux. So which I may have to check that and change that. So anyhow, in EC2 we are using the security groups where we can enable our ports using HTTP 80 in the security group. So just let us leave about this, and we have just started and install httpd. Just let us check it out. ssh hyphen I and spell.pem and what is this, ec2 user uh, adfmn1. So I think I have installed on this server. So just let me check it out. Sudo systemctl status httpd. Yeah, you can see that HTTPD is installed and it's up and running. And this is exactly what it's happening. And 223, when the service started, exactly almost 1 minute back. And let me check it out if I have. Yeah, that's the reason it's getting failed. We don't have firewall deconfigured, so that's the reason these firewall services are not getting set up. So that's fine. If we don't have firewall D, we doesn't require to bother about that. So because that firewall is not going to block, as in EC2 we have security groups to manage them. From there we have to add the rules. So here this is not required for us in this task. So anyhow, this is executed and this is running fine, the service. So with a single playbook, we have installed the package, we have started the service, and if firewall was enabled, we can set up the firewall rules as well. So this is how we can configure complete our application from scratch on the on the clients using this Ansible control node. And if you wanted to set up in multiple locations with multiple node names, you can just group them as web servers or something like that and give the host over here as web servers. So it will execute on that bunch of servers. So that's the difference. And let me give you that just one small package. Let me try to install it on all hosts, which is something like hashtop .yaml. And so I'm just writing one playbook over here. So it's something like stop package. It's something like top command where we can use that uh, to get the top output in a colored format. So on all hosts, and this doesn't require to gather the facts. So I'm just putting as false, and I'm just going to use the tasks over here. So the tasks is something like name install htop package, and the name is something like Ansible dot built-in dot. It's something like yum package or yum we can use or DNF depending on the OS, and I'm going just with M because even on our HLA 8 or CentOS 8, M works. So name is htop package name, and state you can use. Let us try with the latest instead of install. And last time we used install. Now I'm just going with state latest, which means that it makes sure that it will have latest htop package over there. And yeah, that's all. It's a small task which I wanted to run on all hosts. So let us consider that we have some 50, 100 servers which we require to install this Hashtop or some third-party monitoring tool agent over there. So at the time we will be just required to install this package on all hosts. This one playbook can install on all hosts. In our current scenario, we have only two hosts, but if you think you have multiple, yeah, you can see here package manager change false. This command has to run under root user. Do you got it? Why we got this error? It's because I haven't given privilege escalation in our play. That's the reason we are getting this error message. So just let me add that privilege escalation. So yeah, now let me run that playbook again. So you can see here, it shows that failed, this node, and here it comes, okay, okay. I hope the package it's already available because we have run with Ansible ad hoc command. That's the reason it says okay over here. Because it's not changed anything because it has the latest package. If it doesn't had any latest package and it had some old package, even though the package is already installed, because we provided our playbook to use the sorry, stop our playbook with the latest one. So it might have upgraded or changed that version over here. So that's how we can run on multiple hosts. Here it's only two hosts we have it in our test environment, but in real time, if you have something like hundreds of servers to execute, you can just execute that over there with the same Ansible playbook on multiple servers. And that's one I wanted to run on all. And let me run one nginx configuration with some other options over here. So nginx.yml. So something like name nginx configuration host all become true. And here I am going to use some conditions for that. I require Ansible facts to be available. Just wanted to show you that. And let me not to put that gather facts as false. By default, it will take true. So I don't want to put that, or if required, you can just, if you wanted to have that in your mind to remember, you can use true instead of false. So name is the task name, which I'm going to use something like nginx installation in Debian family. It's a Debian format. So in the same playbook, depending on the OS family, I'm trying to install the package with the different types of uh, modules. So Ansible built-in, I think it's a spell wrong, built-in dot apt. So if you remember Ubuntu and Debian, we use apt module to install the packages or all those things. So that's the reason I'm using apt over here, nginx, and the state is something like present. So it's going to keep that, but when it should run. So that's a condition we are going to put as when. So the condition which is taking from Ansible facts. So this is something like in Ansible facts, we have multiple values available for Ansible to use for these conditions. So I'm using Ansible OS family, which is Debian or and if you want to put some version, Debian version or Ubuntu version over there, you can just put Ansible underscore distribution underscore version equal to it's something like 16.04 or 22 dot something like that we can put. But for now, I wanted to use only the OS family. It doesn't matter for me the version of that. So this is one condition. And the other Linux flavors which we have is something like Red Hat or CentOS. So that comes a Fedora family or Red Hat family nginx installation in Red Hat family. So this is another task which we are going to use it. So in our Linux oriented flavors, we will have something like M or DNF module. So I'm just going to use a M module over here, and the package name is nginx, and the state is present, and the condition is something like when Ansible underscore OS underscore family equals to Red Hat, or it must be Ansible underscore. I wanted to put one more thing. If you wanted to just have it something like Susie. So this will be case sensitive, and you have to just check it out the Ansible facts, and then get it those Ansible OS families. And if you are not familiar, you can just check it out from Ansible documentation as well. So this is like the nginx YML, which oh sorry, okay, let us run on all. Let me have it. But we already have HTTPD on manage node 1. Let me use it only to manage node 2 because both will be running on port 80. So to avoid those conflicts, I'm just moving to, yeah. So this is the second manage node, which you can find it over here. So this is how we can install nginx configuration on multiple nodes. If you have mix of something like Ubuntu and CentOS or Red Hat or Debian, something like that, you can put the condition it should run with app, because if you have only yum, it is not going to run on Debian family. And if you have only the app package in our playbook, it's not going to run on Red Hat family. That's the reason we are using this condition and writing this playbook. And just let me run this playbook nginx. It should be on KTFN2. That's the second node. So it's trying to run the play nginx configuration, gathering the facts. So okay, true. Okay, because it will have already. So that's the reason we have put true. So normally, if the gathering facts is false, you cannot find that facts details in the play. So that's a difference when you put true, or if you're not putting this complete option itself, it will be the same thing over here. And now if you see task nginx installation Debian family, it's a skipping, and Red Hat family, it's a skipping. And because so if you see it's Amazon Linux and it's a Fedora, that should so it should be the Red Hat family only. But there was some mistake in our previous script YML coding. I gave small h, which is a case sensitive. That's the reason it's skipping, because it didn't find. And I have modified that playbook with proper flavor over here. So if you see here, the family Red Hat H is a caps, which after changing that, I have executed this, and you can see that on this host, this nginx is been chained. So let me just connect to that server ssh-i ansible pem to user at ktfm2. So rpm-qa grant. What is this? Nginx. So you can see that nginx 1.24 Amazon, it has been installed with the dependency packages as well. So this is how we can just execute on Ansible playbook on our manage nodes or the clients without logging to that server. So that's why we will be using Ansible to for the configuration management. Like we can manage the services, we can manage the package installations, we can manage the configuration files from the central server and all the clients. So this is how we will be managing from our Ansible playbooks. But in real-time environment, you will have something like AWS or Red Hat Ansible Tower, Central Tower, from where you can run these jobs using Ansible playbooks with one of the source control tool, and those jobs can be executed centrally from there. And yeah, I will try to set up some lab on that and try to give you some information about AWS, how to run the jobs over there if possible. And that's about how we can write some Ansible playbooks and execute them in real time. And just wanted to give some basic information about that. And if in the previous session, I just gave this GitHub repository where I have some our previous lab sessions files which are used for the configurations. And the same thing again in same directory, in Ansible directory, I have in College Tech Fusion, and is the Ansible session, I have something like playbooks. So in these playbooks, I have the same thing, HTTPD YAML, which I have used over in our current lab session, and nginx. Actually, I have put all. So you have to modify that wherever you wanted to change that. And so because of lab environment, I'm using like this. If you are going to use it in somewhere your environment, Just make sure that you are changing those codes and using it properly depending on your requirement. So that's some basic information about Ansible playbooks and executing them. And I will try to gather some information about AWX, how to run those jobs. And it's not that much simple. You have it in Ansible. There are a lot of things you can make the changes, like in network side or the configuration side or administration side, all those things. So I just gave some basic idea about that. If you wanted to just check it out, Ansible exact information, you can go to Ansible documentation to do that. And in my next session, I will try to come up with some role based, so where you can initialize some Ansible roles with Ansible Galaxy from your local system and just create some roles, and you can write multiple tasks over there and then just get those roles running with a role configuration. So that's one major thing we have as Ansible roles. And I will try to give some examples with that as well. So see you in my next session. I hope this is informative for you. And please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.